What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to bring you guys part 1 to my double squad flex mini scheme. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So let's go and dive right into this. So as far as personnel goes, it doesn't really matter. We're going to be using all 3 positions. So what I mean by 3 is the receiver right here, receiver right here, and receiver right here. Now it does help to have a pretty good tight end, but Dallas Gooder is fine, so we'll leave him in. But for part 1, the plays that I'll be showing you guys is flood, and I'll be showing you why sell, and also I'm gonna have gameplay for you guys. So let's go ahead and dive right into this, man. So actually, we're gonna be talking about why sell right here. So as you guys know, you can run this play stock, but I'm gonna show you a couple setups that I really love, especially against really man coverage. So this is almost geared towards man coverage for this particular one, because I want to show you guys how to dissect man, but this combo that I'm going to show you will actually work against zone, so don't worry. So let's actually go ahead and get another safety in there. I guess Scott will do. So let's go some 3-3-5, man. So let's go ahead and put I'll put cover 4 drop so you can see that too, and let's go ahead and come out in cover 3. So let's back the ball up a little bit so we can have some room, and I'll leave the ball in the middle just for just for your typical purposes. So I'll just leave it in the middle. Now you definitely want to run this offense on hash marks, which I'll explain in a little bit. But as far as the first setup goes, what I like to do is take X, put them on a slant, and you want to go ahead and motion them across. Now your reads are simple right here. So what you're banking on the fact that the user doing is just following X. Now if the user follows X, we're going to look to square. Now if the user lets X go in the middle quick, which will happen a lot of the times, then you just want to snap and throw that ball for the user not wanting to respect that slant coming right across the middle. So let me go and show you what I'm talking about. So what's going to happen is square, is you'll be able to tell it's going to get right there at a nice little spot. And let me go into replay and just kind of show you your reads, what the user be doing, all of that, the good stuff. So let's go ahead and hop into the replay. So what you're banking on the fact of is user one of these hook curls. So what's going to happen is a lot of times they're going to come and try to bait this, and then they're if you run this play enough, they're going to try to bait you here and then come back there, but they'll never be able to get there. So you're just making a simple read. So if the user does not respect this slant route, which a lot of times they won't, you want to go ahead and throw that quick. Now also what's good here is that you can actually throw this table route, because that purple is actually not going to actually fly down, because there's some route combos that forces the purple to fly down quick. But this one is not the case at all, because we don't have anything like an out route or something. So it's actually just going to keep kind of going. It's going to carry that way, and that's why we'll be able to have this. So you can make this simple read right here, or if they use this right here, you can tell. Now if they're using on this person, like I said, you see what's open. But if they are using this other hook curl, just be mindful that at this point you just kind of want to take your underneath, because a lot of times you get baited, because obviously they're going to come back and play this in route. So that's how I recommend that. And also this works beautifully against the blitz. Like, it's one of my favorite plays to do against the blitz. So let me kind of just, I guess, simulate that for you. Jesus, I can't talk. But let's just say you get a setup like this. Walking to the line. Let's say you get like a little zone blitz action or something like that, and they'll probably, realistically, if somebody wanted to do a zone blitz out of cover 3, they probably would run something like this, to where now they can just free the middle, like user the middle if they want to. They might come down with their user stand about right here. Pretty sure you guys have seen defense like this, even like the mid blitz type of blitzes. So it's something real viable that people will do. So this setup will actually kill that, just because we're going to go ahead and motion that guy over, and no matter what, we have an easy read. So we're going to look between X first. Then we're going, so really if you want, you can look R1 then X, but a lot of times X will just be open right across the middle. And for some reason, if that's not open, you can potentially have this zig route depending on what kind of zones they're playing. And then square is normally always a backside read that I like to make. So like I said, you can see R1, of course, is going to get open, turn up field. That might happen in a game where you get a broken tackle, keep getting yards. So if they're blitzing you, just look between the running back and the tight end, and normally you will be golden. And now in the scheme that I'm going to give you in part 2, you're going to see that I also be utilizing tight end motion. So it's not always going to be this particular play when we do a tight end motion. So real quick, let's actually talk about cover 4 drop, because cover 4 drop is going to be the same thing. We're always going to have that backside in route open if we don't have the slant route open, which is why I really love this combo. And we always will have that table route open as well. So let's go and snap the ball so I can show you. So a lot of times even there you can see I throw a pick, but don't throw it against the hook curl. Don't do what I just did. Be better than me. I just try to be a little cheeky with it, a little sneaky, but in actuality, you're just making that read with the user, and that's all you're doing. So let me go ahead and motion them across. And I really wanted that slant. The slant's not going to be open against the computer, because the computer plays it right. This is just for strictly users, so people who want to use their hook curls. All you got to do is just wait, and you'll be able to tell that we'll have square right there in the middle. And like I said, you want them to follow that slant, and if they don't follow that slant, then we're actually going to hit that slant if they don't want to follow it. So just simple reads. But like I said, I love this against man coverage, which is why I really wanted to do this against man. So let's say they try to do just a shell like this, in case you didn't see it. Say they try to do a shell like that, right? So this will absolutely destroy that, and go ahead and motion them across. You can motion snap it too. So if they aren't shading over the top, what's going to happen is that we'll have, normally you can have this streak if they aren't shading over the top, depending on how they're playing, but with a too high look like this, your read just want to be between X and square every single time. You can tell X gets a nice little win animation. You can roll this way, and you want to low ball that in route just like that. And those two reads right there are going to make it really, really tough on the user. So why does it make it tough on the user? Because they cannot play, you know, like this style of coverage right here, because we'll still have that in route, and if they aren't on that slant route good enough, we can still complete that slant route, which is actually pretty crazy, you know. And the good thing also is that they can't press this receiver right here, what is tight end motion over, they actually can't press, because you can tell he's off the ball. So a lot of times the linebackers are going to be matched up on him. Anytime you have that, it's normally going to cook them, and if they don't drop that purple right, you can always have that right there. And now last thing I will show you before I show you gameplay is that the reason that this setup is good, of course, as you can tell, we can still hit that slant, right? But what you can notice too is that we can actually have that in route. Now, I'm going to shade over the top, because if anybody's playing double purples, they're going to be shading over the top, or they're going to be susceptible to giving up a one-play touchdown. So if this guy, you know, doesn't get a good press animation, if they're not shading over the top, then it's pretty much going to be a touchdown. So let me go and show you this backside in route again, because that's going to be a reprogress. You see X right there. Wow, he really got beat up. Jesus Christ, but check out this gameplay. Now, next thing I want to talk about is actually this RPO zone peak. So this formation has an RPO zone peak, and when you run this, you actually want to make sure you have your settings on conservative, so that way your quarterback doesn't fumble, because yes, you guessed it, we'll be keeping this ball every single time. And the reason that this works, honestly, I'm not sure why it works, but it works pretty well, especially if you have escape artists like with a fast break. You're definitely going to be able to be golden, but it's definitely not needed. And I do have a gameplay clip of me using this in game, so don't worry about that. So basically what's going to happen is a lot of times when the user tries to fly in on a run, a lot of times that running back will actually block the user. Now, I can't simulate that, but you'll see it online when you use it, and also you'll see me using the gameplay. But I love the motion of tight end over, just like we're going to go ahead and do, you know, the pass play. But essentially all you want to do is just keep it. You can tell right here that time we didn't get anywhere, but it's a hit or miss, you know. So I'm giving it just because, like, it depends on what front they're running, to where, you know, and you'll be able to, like, as you use this, you'll be able to be like, oh, okay, he's running this, so it'll work better if I motion this guy over. And you can motion any one of these people over if you want. You can do any of that. I'm just kind of doing this just because, but let's see if this time, you see how this time we get better block, and we're able to turn upfield and get about 5-6 yards. So that's what you're expecting. Now, sometimes you will get a home run where you're getting like 10, you know, 15 yards, but realistically you're just looking for 5 or 6. So let me kind of show you how to actually let me show you how to man cover shell, because I know this man cover shell, it works a little better against that. So let's go ahead and go to RPO zone peak, and then let's motion this guy over, because like I said, our scheme is going to be built around motioning this guy over. So that's why you kind of want to do that, but all you're looking for is blocks. You see that time we actually do get some pretty good blocks. But check out this gameplay clip. Now, last thing I want to talk about in part 1 is actually going to be this play flood. Now, my favorite way to set this up versus man coverage, well, you can really run this play stock versus zones, that's fine. I may just show you that real quick, but it's honestly fine against zones. Maybe one thing I might do if you want to keep it consistent is motion this guy across, take X, put him on a flat route, take triangle, smart route is route like this, and then take circle, put him on an in route, and then smart route is in route just like this. So if they're running zone and you want to kind of exploit their zone, I would actually run this setup right here. Now, I don't have gameplay on it, but this would be actually something I run if you want to flood that left side of the field. So let me kind of show you why this is good, because you can tell you'll be able to have that right there. Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, just make sure you take your read to the flats. But that's one way that I would run it. So it's not my favorite, simply because that corner out doesn't get over the top of the purples as good, so they could potentially have a chance to click on that. So let's go back to flood and just kind of show you. So let's take him, and like I said, this is just still using the same motion. Now, if you want to, you can put a zig route. Zig route might help a little bit as far as getting X open, and then you can take circle, still put them on in route, still smart route is in route. And the reason we're doing in route, just so we can have something backside in case the user's there. So let me just show you that we still are in cover 3. And like I said, let's just go and snap the ball and just look at it. Like I said, X, you want to just make that read and just seeing, like, because sometimes they'll zone drop. I don't know why they maybe pass it like that, but I'll go into replay really quick and just kind of show you now. I really only like this against cover 3, cover 4 shells. Cover 2 does a great job of playing it. Against cover 2, you would have to take this route every single time. As you can tell in cover 3, any of the purples, they drop down. I was trying to just pass lead this ball like up in here, but they kind of made me throw it way up there. Don't know what that's about. But as you can tell, I mean, that's clearly a lot of space. And the reason I like this backside in route, as you can tell, is that we'll just have a nice little flood concept where we can actually attack that spot of the field right there. So I will go ahead and show you cover 2 as well. So let's talk about cover 2. There you go, right here, cover 2. I'm gonna spy this guy just because I need to spy him too, just so I can kind of get out the pocket a little bit. But let's go back to the play flood. Motion on tight end across. Let's put him on a zig route again. Oop, that's a slant. Put him on a zig route. Take circle, put him on the in route. Smart route is in route just like this. And make sure you smart route triangles route. So to do that, just press triangle, triangle, and then smart route. As you can tell now, it's ran a little bit deeper. So this way we can, have a chance at getting over the cloud, but it's not really going to get over the cloud. But your main read, like I told you, is going to be X. You would take that every single time if they do not put a hard flat right there. So that's exactly how I do a 1-2 read like that. So let me actually show you that backside in route against cover 2. And also, they will have to put a middle third, because if they don't, we have a one play touchdown against cover 2, which I'll talk about in part 2. But let's go to flood. Let's actually motion a tight end over, put them on a zig route right there, small route to in route just like this, and I'm gonna make sure we're good on the line. All right, good. Now with this one, like I said, it'd just be a simple read. I forgot small route triangles route, but that's fine because we're not even looking there. And you'd want to hit that gap right there as soon as he passes up that vertical hook. So that would be how you make the user choose. But more than likely, you want to make sure you hit X every single time, because that's what's realistically going to be open. So last thing I want to talk about before I show you gameplay is actually man coverage. So I wanted to save man coverage for last, so let's go and go to man. And they're going to almost have to play man with purples if they want to be able to stop this. So why do you say that, bro? So for this, you want to press triangle, triangle, smart route is route. So you see now that it's ran a little deeper. And from here, you want to take circle, put them on a zig route. And you want to take X and then put them on a slant just like this, and go and motion them across. Now this is good because that slant, as we know, will actually get open. Since it actually cannot be pressed, we'll be able to have a free release. And this route right here is actually going to torch man coverage. You don't even need to have your best receiver there. It's just the route itself is just really, really nice. And also we have a streak on the field just in case they're playing like a too high look and they're like dropping purples but not shading over the top, which I'll go ahead and show you real quick. But if they play this style of defense, we have a 1-play touchdown, and I'll show you that in cover 2 in part 2 as well, excuse me. But if they want to play a style of defense like this, then like I said, you can just pay attention to square, and then sometimes you might be able to have that depending on if you got the speed advantage. Now right there, wow, that's actually crazy they caught that. But that's what you'll be looking for. You'll be looking for it, them to beat the press. So if they don't beat the press, I recommend just making your read, which I'll tell you your reads in here in a second. But you're basically looking for them to beat the press on that when you do that particular setup. If you notice that the safeties, are rolling down, and you're noticing this guy out there getting press animation. So EA's not going to let them press him every single time, so that's how you'll just exploit that right there. But let's actually talk about flood again and show you my actual read. So if they're playing just a stock generic man coverage, or if they're man blitzing, it'll work still the same way. So let me go ahead and motion them across. And this is what we're looking like right here. So if they even man blitz, we're good because the running back's going to block first. So if the person blitzes, our running back will pick them up, and we'll have, between the slant and the these are the two you're reading every single time. So we're seeing where the user goes. If the user follows a slant, we're looking for triangle. So what a lot of times what the user doing, you'll see in the gameplay, is like if this is the user, I go and simulate what the user do. So the user, they'll follow the slant and they'll be like right here looking for the backside in route. And when that happens, you actually want to throw a triangle. And I'll show you in gameplay that the opponent was doing just that, because we run these setups between wide sail and was running flood, and we're motioning the same guy over every time, so he's not sure exactly what we're running. So they're going to be playing, user and something like that, and we're going to be making an easy read with triangle because that is a man beating corner route. That's going to, like I said, it's going to beat man every single time. So let me go and show you that. So boom, you want to throw it right on the break. Now, of course, when I'm trying to show you guys that it does beat man, they're going to absolutely bag it. But yeah, I'll try it one more time. If not, show you some gameplay, and then that'll be the video. Because of course, when I'm trying to make a video and show you guys that something does beat man, of course they're not going to let it beat it. But the reason that it does beat man is because of how sharp that route breaks off. Now this is all Madden practice mode, like I said, so don't count on it to beat it every single time. But in game, I promise you're going to be able to get a win, especially if you have a decent receiver running that. You want to throw it right on the break, and of course they're not letting me. But check out this gameplay. So as you can see in the gameplay, it definitely does. That corner route is definitely deadly against man coverage. All they got to do is stick their foot in the ground, break them off, and like I said, in actual game, that route gets open. But it's one of the more frustrating things when you're trying to record something and it isn't really, they aren't letting you break them off like you should be. And all I had to do realistically was probably just put somebody like Devontae Smith or one of these other receivers out there, and it would have broke them off. But regardless, that's where I put up for part 1. Do let me know if you enjoyed part 1 by just dropping a like on the video, and if you do enjoy it, then I'll actually bring you part 2 of this very same formation. So let me know how you like that. But anyways, I hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.